Yes, we are live. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Faith.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Oscar.
yes. Excited to have you here joining me for the. This is your first E Africa challenge, right?
Yes, it is. I'm a bit excited. I want to see what we have in store. And I'm kind of excited about the conversations we're going to have surrounding.
Yeah. Yes. We're going to see how that looks like. For me, I'm very excited. This is something we've done since 2021, and it's something very, very exciting to me, if you ask me. Um, yeah, I could just show like this presentation of what eAfrica has been all through the years. For those who have followed us, I know you.
Yeah, I think the video wants to be played.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. But I really just wanted to take people through the journey of eAfrica Challenge, starting all the way from 2021. This is a project that is really, really close to my heart. A Africa there stands for Evolve Africa. And I see we have some people watching. Okoye says, good evening. Good evening, okay? Thanks for joining us. Kiprop says, good evening. Good evening. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you for joining us. Yeah. So eAfrica there stands for Evolve Africa. And I think in the early 2020s, I was much more involved in sustainability, the SDGs. I used to work with the Ambitious Africa and do a lot of things in that social impact side because of change. And one key thing that was there for me was how, even as creatives, we can bring about change in our environment. That's something I was very keen about. I think I want to move on to do the presentations. I would just see how we can, showcase because over the years we've had quite an amazing set of speakers all through the years. And one thing I know we did do was instead of making it a yearly event, we structured it to be biennial. That's once every 2 years. And yeah, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Ah, super. Okay, so I won't be sharing, I won't be presenting so that that noise is not so loud and all. But yeah, in 2021, what can I say? These are some of the partners that came on board. Like I mentioned, I was working with Ambitious Africa also back then, and shout out to Joanna. She was actually the one that set all of this in motion. I
Wow.
know, yeah. I know it was kind of like my birthday around that time in April. The first year Africa happened in April. That was also, I think it was Earth Day or Environment Day period. And we wanted to do something where there was a game jam. Creatives actually partake in solving social issues. And Joanna sent a financial gift to us. And that's what we used to start out eAfrica. So without her, eAfrica would never have started, actually. So shout out to her. Yeah. We did also get a lot of support from the local and global community. I know Max, the founder of Gway, was there. We had Julian Hebin come and share the amazing work they were doing, where they built a game and they were planting trees for everyone that plays the game and get a high score. We also had Trista come on board. Trista back then was, yeah, she was the co-founder of Playing for Planet Alliance. And right now, to just show you how a lot has changed since then, Trista currently works with Microsoft for Sustainability,
That's
where,
amazing.
yeah, trust me, where they're actually looking at things like, I remember back then we had a small focus group with the game developers in the community. We looked at what was called green coding, where you actually learn on how even as a game developer, you can write your codes
Second.
that in a way that is efficient, that is power efficient. That was something really exciting for us back then. And there was a report that came out from that. And with all the work she was doing, she's doing great, amazing work. I would showcase, I think I have a video of her, which I'll show after this. Yeah. But from that, she moved on to join Microsoft to lead the sustainability arm, and she's doing a lot of awesome work. Yes.
Yeah,
And
I love that. I love the fact that giving back to society, sustainability, pushing for social change. It's not just something you do on the side. It can also
yeah,
evolve into a full-on career.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
there's so
exciting.
many.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's so many opportunities there as a full-time career. And even if you're not pivoting into that completely as a creative, learning about green coding was huge for me. I know Microsoft now is also like, using recycled plastic and elements for the packaging of their product, just to ensure that we're not creating waste. We are conserving resources. We are making use of them the proper way. And we're also supporting our ecosystem, humans and non-humans alike. That's really that was something exciting. And 2023, and it shows 2022, yeah, but 2023, we also like add a couple of speakers as well. Yolanda Arnold, Mary Grace, Anne Molin, who most people might know, the founder of Hack for Earth. We also had a couple of people, Adrian, who we've been posting his videos, Eric, who taught me about reacting. That was something very exciting. And many more speakers, Chidera as well. So if you're just joining, this year we decided to do something different where we're more like talking and interacting with everyone watching. We get to learn, we get to show you what is happening out there, and we get to bring just a few speakers this year because we have tons of content online that are still relevant till date. I mean, you saw Adrian's video, right? The one speaking on what's it? Artificial intelligence and storytelling. How no matter what tool you're using, the core thing is the story. The tools are just tools for creating art. This was like 2 years back when AI was just coming up, not like now that AI is after everyone's story.
Everywhere. Exactly.
Yeah. And already back then, where people were like, no, it will never be good, it is terrible. Adrian could already foretell that this thing is coming, but it's a tool and you need to know how to use it very well. And even Mary Grace as well, using games for tourism to allow people connect with their past. Yolanda creating animation and game that celebrates the African air. So many amazing stories, so many amazing works by the creators out there, so you can check it. And we also had this UN climate change course that we partook in, which was really cool. So yeah, it's been awesome. Are you excited, Faith?
I am. I am. I can't wait to get into it. I'm all for, social change and sustainability. It's really important that you try to push yourself to do something that is a little bigger than yourself. I mean, I think that's the only way to live. Uh, Generally, that's the best way to live. Doing something that is bigger than you, putting out. Yeah, it makes you feel alive. So I'm really excited. I want to see all the projects that we have lined up, and everything we're going to be spotlighting.
Sure, sure, sure. Really exciting. I believe we can start off with let's see. There's so much that has been going on. When you look at sustainability, look at social change right now. Currently there are game developers in Kenya who
Yeah,
are a
awesome.
part of the protest, which is really, really exciting. Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
people are using, you see graphic designers using their art, their skills to create artwork that actually speak to these things. Yeah. That's cool. A lot is going on in the world.
There
And
is a
whether
lot going on.
yeah, whether you're creative or not, you are not spared from this. What's your take on that?
I think it incorporates as itself into every aspect of our lives. I don't think there's any segment of life, even when it comes down to projects and impact and what you do, that is separate from the entire whole. So everything happening around you is going to affect you. I mean, the advent of AI, it's affected how we do a lot of things these days. So obviously that is going to pull into what passion projects you want to work on, what you want to give back to society, how you conceptualize things, how you come up with ideas as a whole, everything. There's no one part of our lives which is just an individual sector. Everything is interconnected. So at the end of the day, one thing is going to bleed into the other. Everything is interconnected at the end of the day. So yeah, I can see that obviously there's going to be some impact when there's this thing coming up. There's going to be some impact in every other area of every creative's life.
Yeah, true, definitely. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into what we are looking at discussing today. We're definitely going to be touching base on our games, comics, animation, XR, because that's the field we are in. But even if you're outside this field, as long as you are
As
a
well.
yeah, this is something you can actually be a part of. It's all about you as a creative using your skills, your knowledge for impact. That is something that is very important, and that's what we're talking about today. So if you look all across Africa, we've as we mentioned, as I showed on the recap, we've had a couple of speakers in the past come on board. But lately there are more people getting into this space, right? Seeing how they can effect change. And before I touch on the different people, there was this ad I saw. I don't know if we can share the cancer ad.
Yeah, go ahead. I think we should look at it.
Yeah, okay. So, why we're showing this ad as well is also when we even say creative, it's very important that people understand that you're not just limited to digital creatives, right? As a creative, you can be a writer, a poet, and all, but it's all about thinking differently to solve problems. So, let's look at this ad and
Yeah.
yep, let's see what they did.
Messi in! Messi the top! Messi scores! It's Messi! Leganes players, there is a message in solidarity with the Testicular Cancer Society.
Aprovechamos un espacio que ningún otro patrocinador quería para que en este caso una asociación que sí que le importaba ese espacio pudiera visibilizar su causa.
Una importante e inédita iniciativa de salud en el fútbol.
Salieron al campo de juego con un pantalón especial.
Enviar un mensaje, conciencia del cáncer testicular.
Lo llevan en los testículos.
They sponsor their balls. What?
Makes sense why they put it there.
Right into the Leganes players' booth.
Oh my God.
Bien como de ver que le graben los huevos a los jugadores.
Look at those balls.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow. Wow. That is very I think this is creativity, out of the box thinking, right? I mean, who would have thought? And the fact that it so perfectly ties into the theme. We're talking about testicular cancer here. So it brings you right to the, like, that is what you should be paying attention to. And I love the use of puns as well. That was very clever. Like, all of that, the game and the balls and the, all of that, it made so much sense. And I love that. The fact that, entertainment is not just relegated to, oh, it's fun, it's clever, you're using the puns. Someone is actually pulling all of this together to cause, you know, good impact, positive impact. I mean, you saw the numbers in the videos. I think there was about 11 million people who got to see it, get aware about testicular cancer. All of that, I think it's amazing. I think it's really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It has become important to talk to people where they are, right? So instead of the traditional billboards, newsletters, or whatever, running ads, it has become very important in this modern day and age for people to go to where the people are, where your audience are, and connect with them there in a way that is, their preference, in a place where they want to be. So instead of dragging them out of their place, go to their comfort zone, their fun zone, and talk to them there. And this kind of theme has been recurring lately. We're getting to see more and more people adopt this kind of change. I can speak to End is Nine. I don't know. Have you seen that before?
And this nigh.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I don't think I have. I don't believe I have.
Okay, let me share that with everyone. Yeah. So just watch, just to look at this, the way using, because this is about like movies, right? People love movies, so they decided to teach climate change, how our activities as human would affect the world, and they created a full series of it that was very fun to watch, but very educative as well. Let me play that from the beginning and let's see. Yeah. Um,
Greetings,
could you hear it? Can you hear it?
Yes, yes, I can hear it.
Okay, super.
Bill Nye here. Welcome to the Disaster Institute. Earth is constantly on the edge of disaster. Viewer discretion is advised. Why is it that every disaster movie begins with someone in power ignoring a scientist?
People are sick of all the doom and gloom.
Because it happens more than you might think. This is gonna really suck. What? It doesn't have to go down that way. Together, we can save Earth with science. Join me as I take on 6 world-ending disasters. Each one leading to my imminent doom. Brace yourself! So, yeah, I guess you could say I really am dying to save the world.
Yeah, that is another amazing example. If you ask me, I've watched the entire episode, by the way. And it was really exciting. Yeah, it was really exciting because it was like a movie, an action movie. So they recreated the scenarios. If the world is ending, what can cause it? And perhaps also, how do we survive? Or if at all we get to survive. And Bill Nye was the one that did this series, I believe, in partnership with Peacock. And if you go look at the stats, you come to see that a lot of people have been learning. I've been learning because you're watching it. It is fun. It's not boring. I know how many documents I've had to, like, if you're trying to learn. Okay, I don't want to mention, but there's something coming to
Well,
mind where you just sleep after every 5 minutes of learning because it's just text and not everybody can consume content that way. This one is much more, if I can use the word, it's much more fun, it's much more interactive and immersive because you pay more attention and then you get to remember quite a lot of things as well. So
yeah,
it
it's
is, yeah.
very memorable. It's very memorable when it's woven into entertainment like that. And I think Bill Nye was in some educational series much earlier before he
Yeah.
started this. So I think that's beautiful. The fact that it's not it's not sit down in the classroom and learn, but you're learning and you're having fun while learning. And the catchphrase they use, like, it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, right? Because when we talk climate change, awareness of sustainability and what our impact on the earth is, I think most of the time it just comes with this fatalistic view, like, oh no, there's nothing we can do, we're all gonna die. So I love that I love the fact that it's made in such a fun and interactive way. It's entertaining, but it's also educative. So you know what you can do in your own little sphere to turn things around. I think this is great. I mean, it's really inspiring to see that almost anything can be channeled towards creating positive impact at the end of the
Yeah,
day. Earlier we looked at an ad, now we're looking at a movie series. I mean, what next? Anyone can use anything to create, to create positive impact. That is great. That is huge. I think we could, drop links to this so people can have this, if they
sure,
want to check it out. Yeah, we
sure.
definitely drop it so you guys can watch it and take a look at it.
Yeah.
But
And the
yeah,
best part for me is the fact that this is not new. This is not new at all. During my one of my research, I came to realize that animation, for example, has been used for education way back as World War Two, maybe even before. I don't even know. But take for example, Private Snaffle, but the Private Snaffle, that's an animation series done by Warner Bros. The guys of what's it called again, Bugs Bunny
yeah,
and the likes, right? They were using animation. Sorry about that. They were using animation in the form of sorry. They were using animation to actually educate the military, right? I've seen animation as far back as that as well of Superman. They're using it to tell kids don't smoke, don't drink, don't all these things. And this is exciting. Let me show you the private snuff one. It's going to take a bit of time. We'll
yeah.
be having our panelists join us very soon where they come to talk about what they are doing. But let me show you the private stuff. That's another amazing one. And you look at World War II. How many of us were you born then? Yeah. So this is actually not something new. And even as a creative, people can start thinking of how far their work has impact and how
Oh,
much impact they can make, and also run a sustainable business beyond the normal entertainment to the public, which is what most people do, or marketing. Yeah, let me pull up Private
yeah.
Snaffle.
Oh, I'll be the war's greatest hero. With these guns, I have nothing to fear. Oh, my guns are the best. They can meet any test. Oh, I'll be the war's greatest hero. Oh, I'm the world's best damn fighting machine. Oh, them Nazis will learn what I mean. Oh, my wonderful guns will murder them bums, and I'll bury them in the latrine. Oh, la ta 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 la ta 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 ta. Stick him up or I'll blow your brains out! Ah, what a rifle! Kamerad! That rifle looks just a bit gooey. If you think I am scared, you're plumb screwy. Go on, fire away, buck. Your damn gun's full of muck. Oh, nothing comes out but just hooey. Oh, ach, what a gun, I'm defeated. Such a gun just can't be beaten. That gun was neglected, no water connected, no wonder it got overheated. Now in the German army, mein lieber Herr, our weapons work fine, cause we give them great care. Oh, now I'm sunk, I am thinking. Oh, you're perfectly safe, I am thinking. It's musty and dusty and mighty damn rusty. Conditions inside are just stinking. Really, they are.
Yeah. Wow. That was done. I think you're muted.
Wow, yeah, that was great. That was really great,
This is World
honestly.
War Two, right? World War Two animation is being used as instructional material. And I can
Exactly.
imagine the military men just sitting there and enjoying themselves watching but learning. Where
But
in this example is about care of your weapons. If you don't take care of them, what will happen to them, how the enemy will defeat you. And this was World War Two. So really, even on this side, we're just catching up.
Exactly. I love the fact that it began so long ago. It began so
Yeah,
long ago. There's nothing. I mean, obviously, there's artistic expression, and I think most creatives would think, you know, creating is you just expressing yourself, pouring out, consummating the art and the passion inside of you. But it's more than that. And I think one of the most important things, I think that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be, legendary. Everybody wants to create impact. That is the overarching goal of all our lives. I think no one wants to live a small life. Everyone wants to create some impact in the world around them, to create some effect in the world around them. So yeah, creating is not just exerting yourself and pouring out that passion. You can always channel it into creating positive impact. I mean, look at this. That was great. That was educational, and you won't even want to stop watching it. I mean, I didn't want to stop. I wish you just kept going.
for me, I've watched because some
Just
people
kept
like
going.
cartoon is for babies. I don't
Oh
care.
no, no, not at all. And I think these, well, that's another topic entirely. But these forms of cartoons, these forms of graphics, they are a lot overwhelming. There's not so much, but you're passing the message. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
entertaining. Yeah, those are great. 10 over
Yes.
10. I love it. I love it so much.
And we've seen it in animation. We've seen people use movies for that. They are also in games, right? Like, can you
It's
give like an example
Well, I
in
know
games?
we have a game like Green Quest, I think.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, all about environmental sustainability and all of that. It's great. Any art can be transferred to creating social impact. It doesn't it's not at all streamlined to just animation or just games or just, creating XR experiences. Everything can be
sure.
channeled towards, creating positive impact. That's
That's really
yeah, it's really cool. We really need to think beyond ourselves. We really need to think beyond our little sphere and create an impact. It could be education, it could be just driving that information,
Mhm.
just igniting that thought in people's minds. This
Yeah,
is great.
definitely.
Like the ad, the cancer ad, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. You just have that thought in the back of your head. I mean, even if you don't see the full video, like how they do full video, the info, and all of that. You don't even need to see the full video. You just have that in the back of your head, and you'd be like, "Oh, it sticks, right? It sticks." And yeah, this is impact. This is impact. At the end of the day, you don't have to, do something grandiose. Yeah,
True.
this is.
And I think this is grandiose. One in games that I know that about 10 years back I came across was Dumb Ways to Die. Yeah. And I think we would show that that was another one. I mean, since we're giving examples all across,
Yeah, I mean,
that was Dumb Ways to Die. I don't know if there's anyone out there who has seen Dumb Ways to Die. But let me play a video of that. The game had about, was it 11 or 12 million downloads? And it was a game that taught people about safety on the road and even in your homes and all. It was done by an association, and I know I played the game. The background music, the musical theme of the game became a major hit, and
Yeah, it
everybody
did.
went, "Don't ways to die." Let me put that
Yeah.
up.
Set fire to your hair, poke a stick at a grizzly bear, eat medicine that's out of date, use your private parts as piranha bait. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Get your toast out with a fork, do your own electrical work, teach yourself how to fly, eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Invite a psycho killer inside, scratch a drug dealer's brand new ride. Take your helmet off in outer space, use a clothes dryer as a hiding place. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Keep a rattlesnake as a pet, sell both your kidneys on the internet. Eat a tube of super glue. I wonder, what's this red button do? Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dress up like a moose during hunting season, disturb a nest of wasps for no good reason. Stand on the edge of a train station platform, drive around the boom gates at a level crossing, run across the tracks between the platforms. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly the dumbest ways to die. The dumbest ways to die. The dumbest ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Be safe around trains. A message from Metro.
So many dumb ways to die.
Most of them, I know.
So, that was an amazing campaign. I know I loved it. I know I followed it. I know I played the game back then. In my Huawei Android phone. I don't know if you know that phone that I used to have, the one of the first Android phones by Huawei. It used to be white. Etisalat in Nigeria was the one promoting it, and I know I played it there. And I mean, these are good times. These are really, really cool times. It's interesting to also see that a game dev here in Nigeria also did this kind of campaign as well. I don't know. Do you know about ASEC? Do
Yeah,
you
I,
know?
I think that's the, yeah, for, safety, right?
Yeah, they worked on a campaign about safety road driving with Six Path Studios in Port Harcourt. I have a video for that. Let me put it close. But I see panelists are coming in, going out. It's a really exciting day, but we'll bring them up very shortly. Yes, I can see some of them are here. We have three people building games right now. and we'll get to see what those games. Let's talk with them. What is driving them? But let me pose, since we're still on the subject of games for change, let's see what Sixpad and ASEC did, talking about the road rage in Lagos.
Lagos, Nigeria. Traffic is a nightmare, but the drivers are even worse. And when you drive recklessly here, you're insulted with different animal names. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, young people under 39 are the most reckless on the road and account for 65% of road crashes in Nigeria. So, we flipped the script and turned those everyday insults into a wake-up call. ISEC presents Animals on the Road, a campaign to make young Nigerians better drivers. First, we took over the streets with bold illustrations that put reckless driving in the spotlight. Then we made the message shareable with WhatsApp stickers. And because every Lagos car is plastered with a sticker, we hit the streets with our own. Car stickers with a QR code, which leads to a gaming experience online. A game where you follow the rules or risk becoming an animal on the road. They didn't just win points, they gained real-life lessons on how to drive responsibly. The results? More awareness, more responsible driving, and fewer animals on the road.
Wow. I don't want to be called an animal on the road for sending.
I love that the messaging is very clear. The messaging is very clear. Like it they knew their audience and they knew what they were going for. I love that the messaging is clear. So I mean, yeah, you could have fun, but you really know. I love the strong wording, the associating, rough driving and all of that with animals, on
Yeah.
thinking, on caring, that kind of thing. It's strong, but it passes across the message really, really well. And yeah, that is great. I love that most of these are educational. I wish that we saw more. I mean, at the end, they showed the stats, right, of the reach and how far it went and all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it showed the reach, like the impressions, how many people saw it. And I think that beyond that, I'm sure that it translated to, actual change in behavior because, I mean, right? Because at the end of the day, it may not be so conscious, but I think you just don't want to be called an animal on the road, and it just somewhere in your
Exactly.
subconscious mind, it it
Exactly.
just niggles at you that yeah, I really don't want to do that. And it also reminds me of a project. I think you would know about that a Nigerian animation studio did in collaboration with Meta, but I think this was more targeted towards safety
Yeah.
online. We're talking about cyberbullying, all of that, spreading false information, using public channels and all of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I
That
think
must be
it
Comic Republic.
especially was. Yes,
Comic.
Comic Republic. Yeah, I think it especially came to light because of all the fake news coming up, especially post COVID and all of that, during COVID, pre COVID, during COVID, post COVID. Amazing. Yeah, yeah. So it's important. I mean, it's animation, but it's very simple, very easy to digest, passes the messaging across as clearly as possible. Whoever is
Yeah.
seeing it knows what they're getting. I think we could drop that as well, and I think everyone could check that out. Everyone should check that out. It's really amazing. So I know that people joining in here, we mostly have a lot of developers and creatives here,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I mean, these are just we just scouting around, but you get a few ideas, right? And because I'm sure everyone has a passion project, everyone wants to impact the society. If you don't want to impact the society, I mean, go back to hell where you came from. Everybody should want to push social change at some level. I mean, it may not be big, but I know that every human being wants to push social change at some level. So I mean, there are a billion ways you could do it. There's so many ways. I mean, all of these are different ideas. You could come up with something, social change, push
True.
positive change, positive impact, change a life. I mean, it may not be 10 million people, but a couple of people will see it, and
Yeah.
their perspective shifts. They start to act different, they live different, making the world a better place. Let's make the world a better place. One crazy part at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. I think they did a comic, that's Comic Republic. And it also reminds me of what Panoramic is doing with terms of using comics to teach people of their culture. I know they had a partnership with one of the governments. I can't remember now. As you can see, their comics are more focused on the African culture, trying to preserve it and create stories that the children, the teenagers, can actually enjoy, and whilst they are learning, because history is not something that is being taught as it's used to, right? This has been removed from the curriculum. So how do we preserve our own heroes who are passed in the old world, in the new world? And Panoramic is leading that charge. So yeah, be it comics, be it games, there's so
Yeah.
much you can do.
I,
You
I
can,
love this. I love
yeah.
this is amazing. I mean, there was a Chimamanda's book I was reading recently, Dream Count. I think that is one of her latest releases. And she mentioned, I mean, one of the characters mentioned how he was talking and someone was asking him about his history as an African, and he went, "Oh, the Europeans came and they cleaned up our culture." And I was like, "That's not their fault. It's your responsibility to learn about your history. It's your responsibility to be inquisitive. It's your responsibility to search. They're not." And this is great. I mean, this is really great. So, I mean, comics pushing the narrative, pushing the African narrative, teaching about our culture, not the fanciful whitewashed one, but the actual history of African
Yeah.
people that is being decolonized. Let's see our stories for what they really are. I mean, all of these are really great projects. I mean, it's. I'm sure there are a plethora of them out there, but I love that we got to spotlight these ones. These are amazing.
Yes, 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 yes. I think our panelists have been here for quite some time. Let's see if we can bring them up. We are talking about building games for change and social impact. And we have Okante Martin from O Game Studios in Ghana, who developed Simulab. We have Grace James from Green Quest Innovations, developed Monsters and Threats, as well as Matthias Asamoah from Ghana as well on Change Universe, who created Citizens, STEM citizens. Sorry about that. Yeah. So let's bring them up. Hello, Martin. Hello, Grace. Can you hear us? You can unmute. Grace, we hear you. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, it looks like you're speaking, but we can't hear you. Hello, Martin.
Hello.
Ah,
Yeah. Hello.
yes, 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 yes. We afraid on the camera side? Is the internet
Yeah.
working with?
Yeah. The network is just messing up today. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Nice. We
Hi.
get to see you. Hi.
Hi. Hi,
Yeah.
Faith. Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Hi, Martin. Hi, Grace. Yes, we can hear you. We can't see you though, but we can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, you can hear Grace?
Uh huh.
Oh, I can't hear.
No,
Uh, this is this woman supporting women or what?
it's
Why can't?
not. Martin, you can hear her, right? It's just you, Oscar.
No, 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 no.
You can't?
Ah,
Ah, okay.
okay, okay. Yeah, Martin, do you want to introduce yourself?
All right, sure, sure. So yeah, good evening once again. I'm Martin Okante from O Game Studios, as Oscar said. What else can I add to my introduction to make it more a bit better?
Yeah, you can talk about what you guys do at O Games, the project you work in, and as well as Simulab. That's something that is really exciting. Yeah.
All right, great, great, great. So yeah, I'm from Mo Game Studios. We are a game development studio in Ghana, and we are focused on creating educational games. And one of our games we are working on, or one of the programs we are working on, is Simulab. It's a virtual lab that allows students to conduct their experiments without actually being in the lab. They can conduct their chemistry, physics, biology experiments from the comfort of their homes or their classrooms with nothing more than just a tablet or a phone. So yeah, that's basically what we are working on because we saw that there is the lack of a lot of science laboratories in Africa, Ghana and Africa as a whole, and that is kind of hindering the study of STEM, like the growth of STEM education in the country and the continent. So we are All Game Studios, since we focus our main focus is on education. We decided to come up with this game. It's an educational game, so yeah, I'll just call it a game. This game to help bridge that gap between African science students or African STEM learners and um, the Western STEM learners. Yes.
That sounds amazing. How, first off, I mean, I want to talk about the technical applications of this because I mean when we're talking about experiments, especially lab experiments involving chemicals, involving different substances, molecules, there are multiple outcomes, right? There are multiple possible outcomes of, depending on, what chemicals you're mixing, the amounts you're mixing. I mean, that must have been a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I mean, it is in progress. So how are you going about the, making this feasible? Martin?
Well, yeah. I'm sorry, the network is messing up, but if I got you well, um, hello guys.
Oh wow, we're losing him. Ah,
Yeah.
Africa, Africa. Okay, it's not Africa. I'm beginning to learn that everything is not like Africa because it's most likely the part of Africa we are in. You get, but
Exactly.
let me pull up Simulab so everyone can see what it looks like. Yeah, Martin, you can speak to Simulab. Yes, the video is playing. Nice. This looks really cool. Really cool. Was this the project that you won the Africa Skills competition for? Was it with this project? I don't know if you can hear me, Martin. Okay, we've lost him again. Yeah, but this looks really cool. I do know O Games is one of the studios in Ghana that is really, really challenging the status quo. They do have an adventure open world game called Rise of Fati. But then it's also good to see a young studio like this diversifying, going beyond just what everybody is doing in entertainment and having something that actually creates impact on the side. That is very, very um, exciting. Martin, are you back? Can you hear us? Okay, super. So I was asking if this was the project that you won the Africa Skills competition with.
today.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. Okay, interesting, interesting. Faith was asking you. Yeah, Faith, do you want to go on?
Yeah, I was talking about the technical feasibility of the project because thinking about it, it's a really big project, right? It's really big because I mean, moving further, like you mentioned, that was the demo for the primary school section. Then we're thinking secondary school, we're thinking titration. How do you want to apply that? How do you want to make it
All
feasible so that
right.
yeah,
So yeah, um, we are working hand in hand with the education ministry in Ghana, like Ghana Education Service. So we, since like something like chemistry, like chemicals, a lot of chemicals, we want to make it solely based on the curriculum they are studying. So let's say you pick titration, you need an acid and a base. We give you an acid and a base. We don't give you like an acid, an alcohol, something else, something else in the base. So to kind of reduce the the pressure or the work, we are solely basing it on the curriculum. Yes,
Curriculum. Yeah.
yes,
And I think that makes sense also with the name Simulab, right? You are just simulating so that they can be able to experiment with what they have and they're not totally left out looking at that limited resource. Very,
yeah.
very, very interesting. I see you've also carried out this because I've been following you all online. I mean, most of the time when we hear social impact games, serious games, and all, we know the usual companies that do this. It's really exciting to see you all do that. But then you also release like a report in terms of the change, the behavioral change you all have experienced and going to schools. Can you take us on that journey? Like, what schools did you visit? What was the feedback like? And this is supposed to be a mobile game, right? Or a PC
Yes,
game? Mobile.
yes, yes. So initially we were planning, or initially the idea was to make it a VR game, and we later came to see that not everyone. You see, the VR will make it more interactive, but looking at the state of the economy,
Accessibility. Yeah.
yes, it
Not
was not
everyone.
really feasible. So we decided to bring it down to like a level where everyone can be able to access it. So yeah, you were talking about our piloting. We recently piloted this at a school in Accra, Ghana. It's called Mars Hill School Complex. So we piloted it. Some AU reps were there. We also had a rep from the education service. So we piloted it for or to like the students in primary 4 and 5, as I said, since this part is for the primary students. So yeah, we basically did that. Initially, we tested them. We give them like their teachers were there, so we taught them the theory parts of what we were going to run the experiment on or simulate. Taught them the theory parts. We asked them questions, and then we also we give them tablets for them to conduct their experiments on it to see if they would better understand the concepts, and then after that, we also tested them and we could see that there was some significant growth in their rate of concentration or the rate of understanding some complex concepts they've been taught in class. So we in together with the school administrators, the teachers, and the AU reps, we saw the a growth in trajectory of understanding some complex concepts that they are only taught the theory parts of. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
yeah,
Um,
I love it. This seems so great, and there's also the fact that it's reaching people. It's reaching if you consider like the cost benefits, especially when it comes to all these laboratory equipments that these parts may not be able to afford. That is really amazing. And then there's also the part where it can be applied to very volatile dangerous experiment, right? Because you it can go so far. It's really amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
I love
that's what we're
it.
praying for.
Yeah, yeah. This
so
is this is amazing. Super.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So Where do I put? I see we have Matthias. Matthias, can you speak? Have you joined us? Grace, are you here? Can you say something? Yes, Matthias. Say something. We are giving up for you. Yes, we can hear you. Finally. Oh, Massa.
Hello.
Why are you running?
Sorry, my network issues are really disturbing.
Yeah, you can put off the
Yeah.
camera. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, I have to climb a tree to get network.
Oh, nice. Nice. The trials of our
So,
life.
so,
Okay.
so it's not my fault. It's Ghana. It's not just
I've been
it's not just
rolling
my
like
fault. It's Ghana.
And next time you guys are
it's not
saying
just
it,
you. Yours is better.
Really?
See, there's a minister here who is advocating for lower internet prices. He doesn't know he's
off
killing
your
us.
mic. Off
And
your
the
mic.
services are way out.
Hey, please.
But you're off your mic. Eh? And next time you guys are like, oh, there's no internet, please be specific. Eh? Nigeria gave you guys light. Eh? We took internet. So don't say Africa, no internet in Africa. Eh? Kenya has internet. Eh? South Africa has internet. On it, say Ghana
Oh,
doesn't have internet.
Ghana doesn't have internet.
Finish. That's what I like to hear.
You are selling us out, eh?
Oh no,
You are selling us out.
we need
Yeah,
we need them.
super. So can you
Oscar
introduce
can put us
yourself,
in touch with
Matthias?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, now it looks like you're on radio. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, so hello guys, I'm Matthias Asamoah, a game developer, an educator, and the creator of STEM Citizens, a project at the intersection of play, education, and impact, aka where we trick kids into thinking they are learning. Okay, we trick them into thinking they are playing, but they're actually learning. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah. So a little bit about me. When I first started building games, I was drawn to the magic. You see, I grew up on video games, and I even learned English with video games. So you go out there, people will meet my parents. They're like, "Hey, your son knows how to speak English, oh." Not knowing I'm just mimicking characters from the video games I've been playing. So I'll go out there, I'll be saying things like, "What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?" I'm like, hey, this guy is deep for his age. Well, it's just video game lines. So that's basically how I became Lynx. And that's the thing. Games teach us even when we don't realize it. So growing
Yeah.
up, I was very intentional about the games I wanted to make. So when Oscar spoke to us about this STEM thing being in vogue and being like the new hot thing, I was like, okay, let's try. That was around last year, right? Yeah. So Oscar came to Ghana last year. So he's the one who sowed the seed of STEM citizens today. So we have Oscar to thank for that. So yeah,
Yeah.
so our games, yeah,
Continue,
our
please.
games don't just entertain. We want to make games that also educate. So games that don't just help you escape from reality, but actually prepare you for it. And how many games do we know in Africa here who do that? Yeah. So STEM citizens, for example, we are not just handing kids a textbook and hoping for the best. No, we want to drop them on an island and say, survive, use your head, right? So it's like Lord of the Flies, but if the kids actually came together to build a way out instead of forming courts. Those kids were courtists. So I don't know if you read the book. It's very serious. You guys should try it. And here's what we've learned from our games so far. It's like when kids are engaged in a story, it's like we are involving them and actually putting them in the shoes of their characters. So they are trying to stay alive, they are building shelters, they are making fire, and then suddenly Ohm's law makes sense. So it just clicks for them. So we can use games as
Yeah.
an alternative to textbooks. And let's be honest, Africa doesn't need more games about dragons and football games. We already have enough of those right now. We need games about climate action, education, survival, tech skills. These are the things that we need for our where we are right now in our history right now. This is what we need. And also in pushing our own stories and showing our own challenges. It's we are able to do it through a medium that people already love. That's video games.
Yeah.
So to anyone out there wondering if games can really change the world, I would say yes. They are already changing the world. and we are just getting started. And with
Wow.
XSET, yeah. Can I continue or it's okay?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Master, you want to kill us. This turned immediately to a pitch. I wish I can
Oh, I
see
thought it was
your
a TED
face.
talk.
Yeah, but I do have a question. So have you actually taken this game to put in the hands of children, your target audience? And what's the feedback like?
Okay, so we started showcasing in our own community. So we got the kids together, and then we put the game. We mounted a stage, and we tried to get them into the game. And then you see children, 6 years old, 7 years old, who can't even spell their names. They are forming queues, and they are bribing each other so they can jump queues to play. And I do know how to play. We get the thing in their hands. They need the initial coaching. This is how the game is like. These are the controls. You just use this. You go here, you go here, you go here, and instantly it clicks for them. That's why I know this generation is different from ours. They're
Yeah.
able to pick things fast. They are very, very tech inclined. So yeah, they were born. This is the digital generation. They were literally born behind the tablets and the phones. So in making things like this, it's so easy to get it to our target markets because they've been already prepared for something like this. So and fun. They want something that is fun.
True.
And we tend to think fun is the opposite of learning. But in actuality, fun is the gateway to learning. Because they see the graphics, they are passing by, then they pause. It's like something is pulling them in. They come in, and then all of a sudden, they have to try it. So I think we have to make something that is able to lure them.
Yeah, now it looks like radio.
Yeah.
It looks like the radio station.
It's back to that. But this project sounds very interesting. Sounds very
Yes,
interesting. I mean, especially
yes,
the part where he's talking about, it's not just an escape from reality. Because like a lot of people use games as an escape from reality. Like, oh,
yeah,
let me de-stress, let me just get away from you know teenage angst and all of that. You focus your energy into games. But this is not just, taking you away from reality, it's preparing you for reality, which is that was a very solid line. That was cool.
yeah.
Very. And yeah, I think this is great. I think I don't know if Matthias, are you back? You could tell us about, the we could like see something, see the game, see what it looks
Yes.
like.
I think, yeah, let me pull that up. I do have something here. Looks really cool if you ask me. So let's
Yeah.
see what STEM citizens looks like.
That
Wow.
looks great. Yeah. Yeah, that looks great. I really love the fact that you get those information, you get the pop-ups, you get, those info cards that pop up and you get to, see them. So we're not just relegating the impact to the passive knowledge you're getting from, creating all the things, but you're also actively learning with the pop-ups. And I also love the sounds. They're very ASMR, you know. They're really nice. It can be a really relaxing game. I love that about it. So yeah, very educative,
Yes.
very very intentional about passing across information and education, and also fun as well. Even the graphics were pretty cool.
The graphics, the sound, very, very cool, very
Yeah.
engaging. I do have issues with the task they were involved in, though. I didn't want it, but I want to understand more on what that really looks like. What that they... Ah, yes, you are.
Oh, sorry, so sorry. The network has been dealing with me today.
Ah, it's okay.
So
It's
basically, what you were saying, we won't talk. We'll get you with our jollof. So basically,
okay. You're saying
it's into the action. So you learn about, materials, natural resources, right? And then quickly we drop a task for you to accomplish, right? Go gather resources, go collect, go mine rocks, go and chop down trees. You learn about cooking, then instantly it's like you're putting it to practice. You go and fetch resources, ingredients, you come, you cook, you prepare something, we take you through the entire process. Problem solving. You go from step one, two, three with you, and then we put you to the test and try and get you to solve a problem. So it's all about practical learning, where every lesson is tested. So the student is not learning by memorization, but by practicing it, you get to really understand what we intend for you to understand. By the end of the day, every teacher they have some learning outcomes that they are looking for. So we want STEM citizens to be a classroom tool, right? Like an addition to the classroom experience where teachers can take kids through this. It's going to be like a fun alternative to the textbook. So that's basically it.
super.
So we
Yeah.
don't completely disrupt the system, but an addition, yeah.
It
Super.
makes a lot of sense. I think the activities, there are a lot of activities to do. I know I played the game and there was a time we had to make scissors, and then
Yeah,
it leads you up to where you get metal. It leads you up to, I think, hammers, right? It leads you up to where you
yeah.
get metal from the
And the wood
rocks, I
also.
think, because the
Yeah,
yeah, it was carved out of rocks, and then you lead you
yeah.
to where you get the wood, and then you put that together. It made a lot of sense. It makes sense, and I think the whole mechanical nature of it makes it more pragmatic. You learn more when it feels like you're practicing. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but I also want to ask, do you have an what is your overarching philosophy? What made you go into this? I mean, obviously you want to create impact, you want to create, social change, but what was that light bulb moment? Like what made you really go off and say, yes, I'm going to do this, and it's not just going to be commercial, it's also going to create positive impact.
Okay, so for the team, our ethos is we want learning to feel like an adventure because we see how children are studying the characters in Naruto. They know all the jutsus, they know all the techniques, they know every character who does not even matter. It's like they are able to study it without even realizing that this is the same thing as chewing what's in your textbook somewhere because it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like fun. And when something feels like fun, they approach it with a different a play mentality.
Mhm.
So going into this, I was like, so let's make something, right? So we picked for the prologue, we picked creative engineering as a topic, and then we are like,
Yeah.
let's break this down and let's turn this course into a game. So it's like an entire course, a digital course. So if you're able to go through the prologue, it's the equivalent of going through a creative engineering class. And it worked. After we sat the kids down, we asked them, what is this? What is this? What do you remember from this? So what is civil engineering? They were able to explain it, not with textbook, true and poor words. No, they were able to explain.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were able to
Amazing.
explain it to themselves in their own words, in their own understanding. Yeah.
Yes, especially in their own words and in their own understanding. We're pushing beyond the little box of what formal education should look like. We're thinking of creative ways to learn. And it really,
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people who would so, you know, would love this so much, especially because I know that for a lot of adults now, they think of their childhood, formal education as a very traumatic experience, especially
Very.
those who could learn in that atmosphere. Because I mean, children are so diverse, right? There are lots
Yeah.
of characteristics, and I mean, just now we've had more information. We have more light shown on ADHD and other attention deficit disorders that children might have. So I think
Yeah.
there are a lot of adults who would really relate to that. Like, I wish I had this when I was a child back in school. So yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, kudos. I love that, and I love the fact that that you're very intentional about the educational aspect as well. Like you said, by the time they're done with it, it's just as well as going through the course, but in a much more fun, using the fun route, the
Yes. Yes.
scenic route. Yeah, this is amazing. Well done.
Yeah,
Thank
I'd
you.
say
Thank
well
you.
done.
And I'm dyslexic myself. So
Oh,
yeah, I
Eh,
made it for myself. Yes. Thank you.
exactly. That is amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, I
yeah,
can see this
Yeah.
becoming world
Yeah.
renowned.
yeah. So, and Daniel from the comments also say,
Oh,
yeah,
thank
it's
you.
a good
Thank you.
way.
Thank you. We have Oscar to thank for that.
Yeah.
Oscar is our
Sowing the
godfather.
seeds. Uh-huh. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. And Daniel says it's a good way. Yeah, it's a good way to educate kids and even adults. Like I said, I love the art of your game. It's really, really cool, unique. The music as well is calming. So it's just that cutting and cutting, but you've said it's engineering. So you will find, because I was like, are they laborers?
Yeah.
Why are they
Yeah.
laboring in the game? But I mean, Minecraft as well, they are
They are
building,
supposed to survive on the island. Yeah.
makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
really cool. Great job. Martin, Grace,
Yes.
are you here? Can you say anything?
Yes.
Martin, uh,
Yeah,
oh, super. Grace is
yeah.
here finally.
You can
Wow.
finally hear.
Okay, finally we can hear you. I think we'd love to hear from you, Grace, what you're doing with Green Quest, what you're doing differently, and what your vision is using games for change. Okay, now I lost her, but you can hear her fit.
I can hear her. I can do you know what? Let's check with everyone connected. Can everyone connected hear
Martin, can
this?
you?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear her.
Thank you, Matthias. Thank you.
If you're watching online, can you just confirm if you can hear her? So she
Yeah, I
keeps on.
think so. Would know the eyes and the nays, and then the eyes have it.
I think Daniel was the last to comment. So Daniel, can you hear Grace, please? I don't know who else is online, but please just drop a comment if you can hear her. Would really love to hear what she's building, and no one is commenting. Come on, guys. Okay, wait. I think there's a comment. The sound is clear and audible. Um, that's Let's
I'm,
Code. And then Daniel says, "Can't hear Grace."
I'm contradicting comments.
It's selective hearing, guys.
So do you know what? I think
Okay.
everyone wearing headphones can hear her. Matthias, are you wearing a headphone?
I'm not wearing headphones, but I can
Okay,
hear
I'm
her.
so
not. I'm not wearing, and I
that's
can't hear her.
oh.
She's doing favoritism.
Hey,
You can't hear her.
Okay. And she's speaking. She's saying quite a lot. I can see the audio stuff going on. Yeah.
She's saying quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So the issue here now is if people would be able to hear her from the other end, you can.
So other
Um,
than Let's Code, is there anyone else who can hear? I think we could circle back to that once we're sure that everyone can hear. So you're not just speaking to yourself, Grace.
yeah. Um, but then alternatively as well, because we've actually even gone way above time. I
Uh-huh.
can just do a quick show of what Grace is building. Grace is the founder of Green Quest Innovation, and they are building a game that teaches children, youth, teenagers about climate change. And it's not just beyond the game, she's actually also moved on to say, yeah, okay. So, and beyond the game, she's actually gone on to the classes to have physical sessions with them. So it's a mix. There's the game for education, and then there's mentorship, there's physical exercises where they actually do a lot of amazing stuff to educate them about climate change and see how they can bring that change we all are looking forward to. So let me just play what Green Quest looks like as of now, and then you can all please make sure to follow up with her so that you can learn more about it. And on our LinkedIn, there are lots of resources, there are lots of videos. You get to see what she's building.
My name is Nico. I'm 15, and this is what is left of my world. They said it was nature, but nature never did this alone.
Ah, I've been watching, waiting. The world is broken, yes, but you might be the one to fix it. Take this. You're going to need it.
A tool forged from science, powered by resilience, built to fight back. What even is this thing? Well, game on.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we still can't hear you, Grace. I know I can't hear you.
I can hear her. I can hear her actually.
Okay. Um okay. So I can't. I think Faith can. Matthias, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
And can you hear her? Can you hear Grace?
I can't hear her. I can't.
Okay. Okay then. Yeah, so because we're out of time, maybe we'd see what we can do much more later. But please, as you can see, all those projects are in their early stage. Everyone is building from different angle. But one common theme is they're all using games to tackle social issues, be it climate change or education or even science, name it. All of these amazing game devs who are young studio founders are using their skills to drive that impact. And that's something we're excited to see. You can see the diversity in their project, diversity in their approach, what is driving them. So if you really want to, if you're interested in what they are building, please, this is something you can reach out to them, connect them. And this is not old people, right? Telling us what to do. This is young people leading the change, which is what we are all about. This is young people taking the initiative. Whilst we are all chasing the money to survive, we are also giving back to the society, and this is something I'm really excited about. And it's also denoting a change in the games industry, the creative industry, where you're having more young people coming to the forefront to make things happen. So I'd say thank you to all our speakers. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Matthias. Thank you, Grace. Sorry, I can't hear you. Most of us can't. Even those watching on YouTube, not all can hear you. But we did get to showcase your game, and we'll see if they can be a follow up. So thank you, guys. Is there anything you want to say? I think everybody can just say one thing to maybe every young creative there or anyone listening. We can start with you, Martin. Yeah, one word. And Grace, you can also say something, then Faith would tell all of us, like one keyword. Yeah. So, Martin, anything you want to say to any creative out there or anyone interested in making change, someone building something? Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So what I can say is no matter what field you find yourself in, um, there is a way you can make a difference in where you find yourself. Um, I don't want to say too much since we don't have time, but I did chemistry, but I'm into game development now. So it doesn't matter where you find yourself now, you can still go after what your heart desires and make a change, a positive impact in your society. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Yes, Matthias.
Okay, so I'm also going to speak on how Africans can offer something fresh and something new to the global market. Because looking at the perspective that we are coming from, we don't expect Africa to live from if we keep on importing solutions from the West. And mind you, these solutions, they were not built with us in mind. We're not even on their radar, right? So when we are making our games, we want to say that yes, Africa is here, we are in the building, and we are ready. So we are building for Africa in the global market. So taking a fresh perspective at things, we can also innovate and bring something out there. So yeah, let's innovate together. So that the
Nice.
world, I mean, when they are looking for the future of learning, they will come to Africa and they won't just go at looking at Silicon Valley. They will look at Accra, they will look at Cape Coast, they will look at Lagos, Nairobi, Dakar. We are all here. Look at us. Yes,
Yeah.
we are ready. So yeah, that's it for me.
Super. Super. And Grace. I can just see Martin nodding his head. Okay. Just me and Matthias are off the hook, but yeah.
I'm also nodding my head here.
Oh.
Yeah, so Matthias, you could hear as well.
No. I'm just
So yeah, well, what Chris is saying for those who didn't hear is that start from where you are. You don't need to have all the big tools, all the big gadgets, all the big money, all the big stuff. Right from where you are, you can start making change, and somehow everything is just going to align if you follow that passion and keep building. Yeah, I hope I didn't miss anything. Awesome. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, so yeah, that's it.
Super. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. The
Thank you,
step up.
guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll
Thank
be
you
in
for
touch.
having us. Thank you for
Yeah.
having us, Oscar.
Thank you for
thank you,
coming.
Oscar. Thank you, Faith.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you for
Matthias.
coming and inspiring us. Gosh, I feel so inspired. Some of
Yeah,
you
I
should
did
be
too.
motivational speakers. Eh? When life is, I just need to hear you speak.
Oscar. Oscar.
We wanted to even speak more.
No, no time.
Yeah, because of time, we had to cut our
Yeah,
speech.
yes, yeah, very
Some other
true.
time, Matthias, we would give you like 2 hours, only you.
Oh,
Then you
next time,
just
you see,
Yeah,
if not for the network has saved you guys.
Yeah,
oh my
nice.
goodness.
So
all
thank
right.
you, thank you for coming. Yeah, really exciting. Wow, what an exciting
Wow.
game. Yeah. And I'm so
Yeah, I
excited
love this. Yeah,
because
this
this
has
is not the
been,
usual. This is not the
yeah.
usual studios you see on the headlines and all. And it's really important for people to know that the young people are also there at the forefront, doing something. They are also intentional about change. And my goodness, the kind of knowledge, the kind of advice they are giving, you think it's only maybe elderly people that have this kind of perspective. But look at our youths, look at what they are doing. This is really inspiring for me.
I love it. I love it. There's very huge self-centeredness craze that has been going on for the past couple of years. So to see someone, despite everything, despite everything going on in the economy and
Yeah.
everything around them, they're still thinking of how do I create social impact? How do I create change? It's so amazing. I am so inspired. Honestly, I love it.
Okay. Yeah. So before we fully step up, let me see. Yeah, I just wanted to show there's one full project that has come out of Africa in terms of climate change and the likes, and it actually won a couple of awards. And I can see these young studios, these young creatives also going in this part because it's all about doing and refining your skills and getting there. And that project that I know that stood out in many of the serious game social impact projects is Terra Neo. So let me just pull that up just to show everyone. This is exciting. This was built by South African Game Studio. Um, yeah, I know most people don't always accept that like South Africa is Africa sometime, but this is a really exciting project, and it shows, as Matthias said, Africa has something to offer to the global community. This video, I think it was acquired by Netflix Games, I'm not sure, but this is from out of Africa. So we all do really have something to give to the world. And yeah, let's have a look at that.
The wasteland is a desolate place, devoid of life, until the first turbine is constructed. Rivers flow once more, and nature's heart begins to beat. Then it's time to recycle and move on. Along the tropical coastline, life thrives anew. Parrots flit beneath the verdant canopy, while fish frolic in the abundant coral reefs, a paradise of biodiversity. Even in the most inhospitable of places, life finds a way. We just need to give it a helping hand. This is Terra Nil.
Yeah, that was really, 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 yeah, that was a full, complete project from out of Africa, and yeah, that was from out of Africa, and that is exciting to see. So, shout out to the young ones out there building. We're really excited about what you're doing, and we can't wait to see what will come out of it. Of course, there are a lot of established studios that you would always hear about social impact, like Letty Art, Usiko Games, Sea Monsters. These are some studios that a lot of the activity revolves around serious games and impact projects. But it's good to see this new set of studios coming out and taking a different approach, building much more exciting games. And also the playtest, that's what excited me the most about all of them. See, they're not just building and maybe going for publicity, they are building and going to their audience. And before you know it, somebody would definitely get it right. Or it could be all
Yeah.
of them, which will be exciting.
Yeah, exactly. They're not just pushing out what they think these people need. They're actually getting feedback. Like it shows intentionality. You actually want to create change. You actually want to create something that is helpful to your
Mhm.
target audience. You're not just pushing out, whatever it is that you feel like. So it shows very intentional work. I'm so happy about that. I love that. I think for each of the projects, I mean, Matthias talked about how he, got feedback. Martins as well. They went to the school. They got to let the kids test the games, and yeah, it's great. It's really great. I mean, I think everyone should have a social impact project. Everyone should have a social impact project. Everyone should do something for social impact, if not for the good of the earth, maybe just for your own narcissistic satisfaction. But it feels good to create something for the environment. It feels good to impact the world. Yeah, there are two sides to the coin. If you don't want to be altruistic, you can do it for yourself, but do something at the end of the day that you can see the real impact that this could have on thousands of people. It's very commendable.
Yeah, yeah. I do think everyone can make an impact, and where you can, you shouldn't hold back from doing that. So yes, we'll
Yeah.
wrap it up here with 1 hour 32 minutes in total. That's how much time we've spent online with you all. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we're going to take you on an adventure as well. I'm sure you saw how we started this time. So we're going to show you different projects from all across the globe that spotlight our unique ways, right? It's not just about games here at Africa Communicate. It's about comics, about animation, it's about Excel, it's about diverse forms, mediums in the creative industry, immersive and interactive media. And we'll be taking you on that journey to explore ways people are making change in their own little way. And then we'll also be having a session with Peace Olatunji. I think he's
Yeah.
the only African that won the Unity for Humanity grant last year or this year,
Yeah.
if I'm
This
and I'm
year.
really excited about that because also a lot of Africans feel like things are rigged against them. But then we'll get to learn how we did it. We'll get to have insight into his project Sands of Time. And we'll get to see how he's using virtual reality um, to give back in his own little way to the world, to tell his own story, to inspire people to change. And with that, I think I'll wrap up. That is all from me, Oscar Michael. I'll see you tomorrow. Faith, any word for the audience?
Yeah, I'm excited about tomorrow. Let's see how he did it. So you're not just giving out. There's so much you could gain from it as well. I mean, he got that award. That's worth a lot. So yeah, let's looking forward to tomorrow. I love the conversations we've had so far. I'm looking forward to all we're going to see tomorrow. Yeah, it was nice to have everyone join in. I mean, um, tomorrow would have much more time to have everyone interact and maybe speak in the comments. You could throw some things in while we go on. Yeah,
Okay. So with
that's it
that,
from
we
me.
say peace out.
Bye.
Bye.